So, you're wondering how to be a spicy mage. Or maybe you're just like me, and you have a mage in your group, and you want to know the impacts of specifically the strongest mage item right now, especially in co-op. The Staff of Protection. Yeah, this thing is a beauty. A beauty! Oh yeah, look at this thing, yeah. I am a fledgling mage myself, but I have seen many successful support missions, dungeons, and our lovely queen boss fight, which is unlisted. You'll find it in the Mistlands first co-op playthrough playlist, or whatever it's called. Yeah, my friend uses the Staff of Protection, double Eider food, 1 stamina food to keep that bubble on at all times. It has so much defense. It starts off at 200 HP worth of damage. Pretty sure it doesn't calculate armor or resistances, so it's just your flat overall damage, which is pretty annoying. Let's actually get this usual setup going. Costs 40% of your HP, but that's fine because you're protected by base 200 for, well, normally 2 minutes. I've just made the Staff of Protection for the purposes of this video, so it's quality 1, but always upgrade this to quality 2 for that juicy 2 minutes. It affects a bunch of people around you. It can even works on tames. It is fantastic and it scales incredibly well. So, my blood magic is only 5. See, I'm not very much of a mage, but it already protects 230. Yeah, the scaling is huge. Every level you grind is huge. Thread Menace has a video on how to grind blood magic particularly well. I have that in the description. Notice how my HP is already regened up to max, and the bubble still here. But what about enemies attacking you? Well, as you might know, just sitting on a bubble and trying to defend yourself is not the way that you kill enemies. You still have to deal with them. Well, let's talk about the Staff Protection, or Staff of Embers, and Frost. These are both pretty underrated, but I'll let you know about these. So, this Staff of Embers, pretty good, pretty great. Huge overall potential damage. It's got fire. Seekers are weak to fire. It's got an AoE, which is really good for dungeons and like. I won't spoil the queen fight, but it's useful there. Mainly useful in the dungeons and everything because of ticks, broods with eggs, and you can clip yourself some seeker soldiers and seekers in there as you're going for them. It's just a solid range option. Range options are great. Gotta love range options, so you just fucking... Woo! Only costs 30. Look at the lob. Look at it go. Yeah. See if we can really fire that off. I want to see if maybe it wants to hit the... Oh, it's so close. I have a pier out there for catching fish. I want to see if I can hit that. Yeah, you can just keep launching this with 2 Eider food. Of course, I've got the Eider Weave set, which I really should have upgraded. No, it seems like that's the limit of the arc, which is still a lot. Look at it rain down. That's so cool. But yeah, a full Eider Weave set, unupgraded because it's one of my friends and he's a bit of a berserker. But yeah, you want to upgrade it just in case. It's really fine. Like, upgrading it is not as irrelevant as leveling up blood magic for the Staff of Protection. Staff of Protection being so protective, but there's limited coverage in a large group. So, because of that, when you got group tactics, you might want somebody who runs, instead of Eider Stamina, maybe Health Eider Stamina. So they can be an all-rounder. And because they're an all-rounder, they can have their own staff protection, but they can be more focused on things also like Embers or also Staff of Frost, which people are underrating because of the spray. It's like, oh, look at that spray. I can't hit things from long range, but you can hit things from mid-range very consistently. And it has freeze, very, very deep freeze, and low idle cost. So, very good at freezing things quick, just boop, boop, boop. Just one or two, that's all you need, and then you can combo that into something which has a very linear hitbox, maybe a Mistwalker Middle Mouse, yeah. So because it has a linear hitbox, not a lot of tracking, comboing this into this, very potent, very good. Also just regular moveset, extremely strong, lovely weapon. Frostner as well, hello Frostner, and Parry Shield, might as well, in case you're getting into some melee Seeker Soldiers or what have you. In co-op, very important to have a good parry shield, like this buckler here, and really get your parry timings right, because if you don't, then you don't exactly have the HP to not get staggered. So definitely on a mage setup, parry shield, and cool thing is, on tougher enemies like starred Seeker Soldiers, or even like starred Berserkers, remember those guys, what you can do is you can bubble, and then you can get into their face and parry, or your friends can parry, you know, your more melee oriented friends, maybe that health stamina either friend that covers your gaps with the Staff of Protection. He can go in, parry some dudes, get involved in melee, even if he doesn't have his bubble, he's fine. That's all fine and dandy. Something that I tested out and checked that was pretty damn effective is Him and Awful swap with Staff of Embers. This is clean because even though you have not as much stamina, you spin and you win. So the whole idea is you'll stagger a bunch of dudes, and they're staggered for a certain amount of time. Time equals stamina and item regen, but it also equals distance, and distance equals even more time, and you can switch back to Staff of Embers and get some combos. Now the cool thing about Staff of Embers is the fire DOT on a staggered enemy from, say, Him and Awful has that beautiful stagger modifier. So you'll get a base DOT that's higher than usual, and then you can keep going with Embers and have that DOT stack even higher. And you can eventually just shred mobs from a distance. It's a thing of beauty. Especially considering Seekers take such high knockback sometimes on the overworld. You send them flying, they're staggered. Oh no, I can't reach them with the Him without spending so much stamina, which I don't have as a mage or battle mage. Well, after you middle mouse once, swap over, boom, boom, no problem. Beautiful, love it. Dear. Don't have the angle right, you can tell I'm not. There we go. Got him. Yeah. Love it, love it. Yeah, mid-range you can also combo this with a friend that's using Crom, or what's super beautiful is also the linear hitbox of this, Skull and Hottie. Whoop! Middle mouse. Now why Skull and Hottie? Aren't you not as much a DPS guy? You know, constantly praising control over DPS. We got ranged and control and support way over DPS. And it's like, yes, it's true, it's true, it's true. However, in co-op, you have low stamina if you're also trying to regain Eider, and you have just stamina, considering you only have one stamina food because of Mage setup with good old Staff Protection. Now is the time. Now is the time in co-op for Skull and Hottie. Oh, your friend is giving you a free opportunity to flank the booty of the Seeker Soldier. Don't have Viter, have stamina. Shred him, shred him, shred him. Look at how many hits that is. So fast. Now, I actually checked the damage calculator, alright? Crom is technically more efficient damage per stamina. However, damage per stamina is not as important as hits to kill, considering how much stamina you have with one stamina food. So, if you kill the enemy, your stamina is just going to regen. The damage per stamina, not as important. What is important is hits to kill with the stamina that you have. So, I compared both Crom at Swords 100 to Skull and Hottie at Knives 100. Both quality 2, that's as much as we can get right now. And for Seeker types, Skull and Hottie takes 4 hits. Crom takes 3 hits, 2 to 3 hits. So, Crom is notably slower than getting these juicy hits in. Notably slower. So, you just get these hits in, and in co-op, in these situations, the mob is not going to be at full health anyway, because you have your friend. Yeah, look at that. And then the stamina just starts coming back. It's so fast. But consider that. Like Knives is just like the easiest skill to level up too. It's so quick to level up. Like I have this character going through the game from scratch right now. I've got like Knives 37. I feel like I barely even tried using them. I just keep the knife around me because it's got that 0 move speed reduction, and it's just viciously quick. Now, most of the time, actually, when there's multiple mobs, you want to bust out the Mistwalker because for some reason, they gave one-handed swords cleave come Mistlands update. So I want to smack this deer plus like a tree or something. No, didn't get it. Well, that's 100, right? Okay, so the damage... let's see, my damage range is 77 to 113. So 100 fits fairly even through there. Let's get this guy over here by this tree. 80. So that is comfortably also in the range, but yeah. I hit him in the tree. And it does not actually take any of the damage away. And this is the same with multiple mobs. So you can have a bunch of Seekers lined up, and if they're all frosted because of your Staff of Frost, you can just cleave them with the Mistwalker, and it is spicy, spicy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting some low rolls there. I want to get a high roll to actually show this. Or I can just find a bunch of necks. I want to do that. But these necks are wet. But speaking of wet necks, wet enemies will take 1.5 times damage. This is a wet grayling. Okay. Boom. 133. That's above the damage range. That's because wet enemies take 1.5 times frost damage. You can machine gun with Staff of Frost in that regard. Here, I want to get this guy like right by the rock. Come here. Yeah, 86 again. But yeah, you can test it out. You can see it. It's a cleave machine now. And they've kind of left battle axes to suffer, which is a real tragedy, I think. Yeah, look, once they start swimming, you know they're wet. Yeah, just vicious amounts of damage from one-handed. Come on, son. Let's not be like that, dear. Let's not be like that. But yeah. Embers is really good for catching hares. Frost is really good for catching hares. They're both really good, but Embers is effectively especially good at getting ticks and broods and eggs and all of that lovelies, stacking up a bunch of damage from that. Frost, of course, is your setup. Combo that into other Frost techniques. Of course, low stamina means you can also use Frostner. Look how many hits I can get in. So if you're specifically going in, you got low stam because, of course, you're running 2 Iter, 1 stamina. Frostner is actually not a bad option. Not bad at all. Get them hits in, get that control in, get those enemies away from you as a mage, get some range going. Beautiful. Silly Lantern prioritizes the shield instead of the weapon, which is goofy, but yeah, that's really nice. Remember that health, stamina, Iter character that covers the gaps of this double Iter 1 stamina mage? You remember how low stam 1 stamina food enables Frostner, enables Skull and Haughty strats in co-op? Same thing applies with that character. In fact, I have the exact same loadout that's relevant on this character for that character. However, a few things are missing. Instead of doing full Iter Weave, you're probably going to do a mix. You're probably going to want Root Harnesk or maybe a Fenris piece or something. Root Harnesk is a definite, but like helmet, because of the hood is 20%. It's the weakest piece. If you really wanted it regen just for bubble's sake, throw on a Fenris hood on that character because you don't have as much Iter. Not going to be as much of a problem. Of course, Iter mead potions work very well. Lingering stamina mead is really good for operating under low stamina as well. Of course, that stacks with tasted mead, so it's just tasted mead is now just a beast. All of that's really, really solid. Arbalest. Why do I have the Arbalest? What is going on? Why am I doing this? Let me show you. Let me launch this. Now let's load this. You notice that? As I load it, the Iter regens. As I fire, it stops. So this is a strong, really strong, low stamina, low Iter ranged option to keep yourself in the game, in combat, while your resources are low and you're just left in the back line. I recommend this for your double Iter 1 stamina characters. Absolutely. 100% run this. I would still say Spine Snap Bow in the Mistlands overworld for y'all, but generally you can get away with using the Arbalest no problem. I do recommend running Arbalest, leveling up those skills. I know it's a pain in the ass. I know it's a royal pain to grind Arbalest, but you can farm feathers with hens now. The main thing is bone bolts. The bones are fine. You can get bones at in frost caves. You can get bones in tar pits, around tar pits. Of course, burial chambers. Bones are abundant. Feathers are even more abundant. It should be okay. The only thing is the grinding. Just make sure you stay rested. You can snipe everything outside your base. Go to a Grey Dwarf farm. I do recommend if you follow the guide for blood magic with Thread Menace, you can use that to grind up your Arbalest skills, your crossbow skills as well. Of course, this thing is going to be a beast sneak attacking on y'all. So it's just got raw burst damage. If you see him coming, you know, 74 to 135 plus 44 to 66, and I have crossbows 18. That's like nothing. That's the tip of the iceberg for the total damage, and you should be able to, I think somebody said you should theoretically be able to one-shot a y'all Something absurd like that. It's got ridiculous potential. Of course, everything I mentioned about the low stam, low iter is really strong. The innate knockback it has can really lead to some good positioning. So you're regenning stuff, you're trying to regen iter, and then you're sniping something, and if you have distance, you're letting the knockback take you with the feather cape. So like this, and then you're continuing backwards. You're letting it increase the distance for you, so that you can get iter back, and then you can proceed as usual. So yeah, iter stamina. Again, I'm going to do the recap now. You want Staff of Protection. This is your bread and butter. This is why you have 2 iter food. You're going to have this on all the time, and the second iter food plus all this regen is so that you can continue to launch fireballs, continue to support with Staff of Frost, even from range. If you are low on stamina and iter, you can run Arbalest. Arbalest will recharge iter even when you load, so that is phenomenal. It'll stop when you fire, but you fire very fast once it's actually loaded. So that's really good. Keep it from the back line. You can use the Arbalest knockback in combination with the Feather Cape to get yourself some good distance. Something cool with Staff of Protection is that you can do a gliding bubble to get yourself distance, to get yourself safety when you're debubbled, because very low HP right now. However, I'm mobile now. Yeah, fantastic. Love that. Secondary options for melee to keep these combos going. Him and Awful, you want a little get off me strategy. Boom. Middle mouse, staggers, spin to win. Gets the enemies back. Back means distance, time. All of those things mean a lot of iter and stamina regen. It is a very, very stamina efficient weapon if you know how to use it. And knowing how to use it is just timing your spin to wins. And also knowing when the Seekers get flung very far, that you can combo with Staff of Embers, which is phenomenal, as the DOT will have that stagger modifier, and then you can follow up to stack that even higher, and will demolish Seekers, Seeker Soldiers, what have you from range. Very spicy. Staff of Frost, this is going to be your big support in co-op. You are going to launch this, get some deep freeze so that you and other friends can get some linear, non-tracking hits in super easy. They're super strong to make up for the fact that they have terrible tracking. So your Mistwalker middle mouse is going to be good, your Crom middle mouse is going to be good. Even like, let's say Froster middle mouse is going to be good. The combo with that, and Skull and Hottie middle mouse. Speaking of Skull and Hottie, because you're going to have these characters that are low stam, you got 1 stamina food, effective DPS if somebody's taking aggro is going to be actually pretty strong, because removing the threat means you are regenning health, stamina, and iter, most importantly. So you get these hits in fast, and all of a sudden you're regenning everything because the threat is now removed. Feels good for knives to be this spicy in co-op. Feels really good. A low stamina, of course, because you don't have much health, you want a good parry shield on your mage characters. Of course, you can parry targets that are even better with Staff of Protection, because that bubble will save your ass. Considering low stamina, if you just want support, you can also run Frostner. It also helps to get enemies away from you. Distance is time, and time and distance is stamina and iter. Frostner also has the slowdown, as does Mistwalker, which is super beautiful because it allows you to get distance and time and all of those things, regen, health, and iter. Or stamina and iter and health, basically. All of it. Yeah. There's one thing that I haven't said that you could do, but that's a different build, and that doesn't involve this low stamina. I'm going to talk about cheap ways, cheap builds that you can do as a semi-combatant. For all of you gathering types that want to go into combat here and there and support your friends, for all you farming types, all you building types, I will have a build ready sometime soon. It'll be fairly cheap, and it'll be involving a lot of Skull and Hottie, Frostner, things of that nature. Mainly, it's going to be a lot of these two, and it's going to be a lot of some other things, so stay tuned for that. If I missed anything, do let me know, but this setup here, low stand, the Arbalest, with the Ida Regen on load, like Frostner, Mistwalker with the cleave, Skull and Hottie for the DPS when somebody's taking aggro. I'm just repeating points now, but yeah. It's a real beauty, and I'm working up a character from scratch so that I can really test out and show you a proper guide for this, because this is all theory right now. If anybody wants to test this, please do. I would love to see your videos. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys some other time. Bye!